We'll begin tonight with several new details uncovered now in that wrong-way crash involving a former Kent County assistant prosecutor that has led to the suspension of 2 members of the police department.
At 5, we broke the news that Sergeant Thomas Warwick has also accepted a demotion when he returns to work. 24-hour News 8's Lindsay McCombel joins us in studio with what else we're uncovering tonight. Lindsay?
Well, Brian and Marley, Michigan State Police and the city of Grand Rapids released several documents and footage to us through a Freedom of Information Act request. We now have the phone call and body cam footage telling a very contrasting story from how the response to that crash started and how it ended.
Police Department, Janeski.
Hey, anybody in the room that shouldn't hear things?
Warwick.
This crash out here is Josh Kuiper from the prosecutor's office that's hammered going the wrong way on Union and plugged a parked car.
Stop. 3407.
All right.
After a November wrong-way crash involving former Kent County Assistant Prosecutor Josh Kuiper, Officer Adam Ickes told his lieutenant, Matthew Janeski, that Kuiper was hammered. The two, plus Sergeant Thomas Warwick, then used a separate phone line to make 5 calls to each other, transcribed in these 12.5 redacted pages from the city. We don't know what they discussed, but we do know Ickes did not administer a breathalyzer, despite saying that Kuiper seemed hammered.
Josh, go ahead and step out for the car for me real quick, okay? All right. Based on dexterity tasks and on the scene here, I don't smell any alcohol coming off your person. Appears to be a crash at this point, all right? I don't have enough PC to offer a PBT at this time to figure out what your level is because you did well on the dexterity tasks. So at this point, we'll get your car towed, get the other vehicle towed, and make sure that you get home safe, okay?
More body cam footage has also been released, though it appears the camera's audio was turned off several times at the scene, so some of the dialogue is not available. The Freedom of Information Act response also includes evidence showing Kuiper was traveling 41 miles an hour on Union Avenue before crashing into Dan Epson's car.
The vehicle ran into me. A vehicle ran into you. Okay.
Yeah, it kind of hurt.
Okay, where do you feel like you're injured at?
Oh, head, knee, legs, hand, just a lot of soreness overall.
What's missing from this evidence, though, is the in-car video from Officer Ickes' patrol car. The report states it's 70 minutes worth of video, but because Ickes classified it as a non-event instead of something else that would have saved it for 120 days during an investigation, it expired after 1 week. The report says it is not clear if that was done purposely or if it was an operator error.
You're putting me in a real bad place right now, but you understand what I gotta do, so.
I understand what you gotta do.
All right. Okay, who's with boss? All right.
This is a nightmare, man.
There is still a federal lawsuit pending involving that separate phone line the officers used that night that actually was recorded despite them believing that it was not recorded. The city is now arguing that they should have access to the contents of those calls for disciplinary purposes, although they have since dropped Ickes and Warwick from that suit. Now, to recap all of this, Ickes reached a deal with the city to serve a 30-day suspension without pay. Warwick accepted a demotion from sergeant to officer and a 160-day suspension without pay for his response that night. And Lieutenant Matthew Janeski is still facing termination for his involvement. His hearing is scheduled for next month. Now, we have also uncovered how the prosecutor's office handled Kuiper before he resigned back in January and his past behavior problems while he was working there. And that report is over on woodtv.com.